To most people, buying a house is the single largest financial investment they'll make. It's also emotional because this is where they're going to raise their family. So when you are looking at houses and trying to determine where do you want to live, where do you want the children to go to school, how much money can you afford to pay for a house, people rarely at that time decide they should talk to the lawyer as well. But I can highly recommend that's a good time to speak to the lawyer, because the lawyer will help you cut through some of the issues around buying a house.
Buying or selling a home, the hurdles are typically market driven. In a hot real estate market, there can be all kinds of pressures put to bear, whether it's just multiple offers going in on a particular property, or whether you're, from a seller's perspective, you're going to receive multiple offers, dealing with real estate agents, bankers, insurance agents, people giving you lots of advice from lots of different perspectives. Sifting and sorting that advice is always a difficult task.
Once you find the house of your dreams and you want to buy it, you're engaged in a process of negotiation that results in a fairly complex legal contract. You won't be told it's a complex legal contract, you'll be told you're offering to buy a house. But there is a lot of law, ancient law in fact, around offer and acceptance. If you make an offer and the seller accepts it without changing a word, you better have meant that offer, because now it's a solid binding contract. But the lawyer who reviews your offer for you, hopefully before you submit it, may even draw it for you, will explain it to you so that you understand what you've just agreed to do.
Given all the pressures, I really like it when they do come in to see me first. I can deflect some of that pressure, I can absorb some of the pressure and help them manage from start to finish. I can also tailor the agreement of purchase and sale to protect the client's rights, whether it's buyer side or seller side. And my job, unlike other people who are involved in the transaction, is strictly to safeguard my client's interests in the transaction. I have no other vested interest.
One of the things that we see in offers all the time that buyers don't understand is that they've been pre-approved for a mortgage, and they then drop the condition that says, I need financing in order to buy your house. They usually drop it because of the pressure involved in trying to secure a house with no conditions, particularly in the GTA, where there's often a lineup of people trying to buy the house. You want as clean an offer as possible. Well, you make it so clean that you have no conditions, you're really playing with fire. You've now committed to the seller to buy their house when you're not sure that you can get the mortgage approval. Pre-approval for a mortgage does not mean the mortgage will be approved for that house. The pre-approval is that your income can support mortgage payments of X dollars.
People typically do more research when they buy a color TV than when they buy a home. Part of it is because of the process and the speed. The market can drive people very quickly. I always like to ask them to take a step back, particularly with a home inspection condition. Think about it. We don't stand on the roof, and even if you did stand on the roof of a house, would you have the knowledge to know whether or not the roof was in good condition? Would you know how to look for mold? Would you be able to tell whether or not the house contained urea formaldehyde foam insulation? I always tell people to seek expert advice, and a home inspection is integral to a successful transaction in a client knowing what exactly they are buying.
An important part of reviewing an offer with either a buyer or a seller is for me to go through not just what the contract says or should say, but talk to them and say, okay, tell me about the house. What do you really like about this house? What do you want to take when you go? What, as the buyer, would upset you if you walked in the house and it was not there and it was missing? Then I can do an analysis and say, right, that has to be in the contract.
When we're drafting an agreement of purchase and sale, we always talk about the distinction between a fixture and a chattel. A chattel, like a chair, you can pick up and take away. A fixture is something you can't, such as wall-to-wall carpeting or an air conditioner or a furnace. Having a complete list in the agreement of purchase and sale ensures that the client on the day of closing is going to walk into their home and find all of the things they expect to find. A good example is simply appliances. Fridge, stove, washer, and dryer are chattels. If they're not included in a specific list, the vendor has the right to take them away, and the purchaser will have dirty socks and dirty laundry until the new ones can be delivered. But financially, the impact can go far beyond that.
Unfortunately, people are a little afraid of lawyers. I've never been sure why, but we really try to be helpful. We know a lot about buying and selling a home. We do hundreds of them a year, whereas you will probably buy or sell a home every decade. So it makes sense to me that you get as much assistance and knowledge before you commit your family to a contract that may not work for you.